Hi everyone, I am Srishti, and through this video today I am going to explain you a very simple yet a very powerful concept, that is functions. So let's start. The first thing is, what is a function? It is a black box that performs a specific task when called. It may take in values or parameters as input and it return values as output. So for example, when you're sick you can call a doctor. When there's something wrong with your car you can call a mechanic. So there are different people for different jobs, and you can call them, they perform a specific task. So you have that analogy between the function and this real life situation. The next thing that I address is that why should we use functions? Till now we have been writing statements after statements and we've been doing quite well. So the question is, why not write statements one after another like we've been doing so far? Why use functions? Functions facilitate the programmers to break a large programming problem into smaller problems, each solving a part of the big problem. So there's a huge problem that you have and you've broken it down into smaller problems, and then you are catering to these problems one by one separately. Now there are advantages that are associated with using functions. The first is that the length of the program can be reduced by using functions. When you use function, you have a piece of code which is being run again and again whenever you call that function, but you don't have to write that piece of code again and again. You just need to write it once when you're defining that function. The second thing is that debugging is easier. Whatever change needs to be made as a result of an error that you might have committed, you just need to make that change in one place, that is a place that where you have defined that function, and not everywhere that you're using that function. So debugging is easier in this case. The third thing is reusability of function increases. That means you can again and again use that function, and all you have to do is just call that function, which is just hardly a one-line statement. So your workload is definitely less. You don't have to write that piece of code which is being used 10 times, say, again and again. So these are a few advantages that are associated with the usage of functions, and these are the reasons why functions are used so commonly and why functions are very, very important. I have made a program, and through that program I'll be illustrating these advantages with a greater detail, so that it's easier for you to understand. So here is a simple program that I've written in CodeSculptor, and my aim over here is to illustrate the use of functions, why are they important, and how do you actually execute them. So here's a function that I've written. Now I just want to introduce you to the scenario that I've just taken as an example here. Imagine that you're a teacher and you have a few students in your class and you have been asked to generate their result. That means you need to calculate the percentage, and I've assumed that there are 3 subjects. Alright. So I've written a function over here. So the first point that I had told when I told you the uses of function was that there is reusability of functions. That means I don't have to calculate the percentage, I don't have to write that formula for percentage for each student again and again. You'll be seeing ahead that I'll be using this function again and again by just writing a single small line to calculate the percentage. I'm not going to write the entire formula again and again. So first I start with this function. How do you write it? It has been highlighted here. Now you can see that in the beginning I have written def. It's a keyword which tells the Python that now I'm going to start with the definition of the function. I have given a space after that, and then comes the name of my function, that is percentage. Now the name needs to be something that is going to tell me that what this function is going to be about. It should not be any random name. It should just tell you that what the function is going to be about. After that I have brackets, and in those brackets I have written sub1, sub2 and sub3. These are basically the parameters or the input values that I am passing into this function, and I talked about these when I was discussing about the function being a black box. So this is that black box parameters, the parameters that are going into that black box, and these are basically here the marks of the students in the first subject, second subject and the third subject. After that you have a colon. Now colon is extremely important. It looks like a very small thing and very easy to miss, and it often happens that we don't put it, but if you don't put it you are going to have an error. So it's a very important thing which is going to tell that now the function is going to start, its coding is going to start. Another important thing here is that I have given indentation before writing total marks. That means this indentation is extremely important. You need to write the code that is a piece of the code of the function below p of the percentage, that is below the name, and not below def. That is extremely important. Indentation needs to be given. Now I have written total marks equal to 300. Then I have written marks obtained as the sum of the marks that have been obtained in each subject, and I have used the normal formula that you use to calculate percentage, and I have put the value into a variable named percent. So percent equal to marks obtained divided by the total marks into 100, and then I have written returned percent. This keyword return is going to return the value that is stored inside the percent, that is the percentage we calculate, to the variable that has called this function. So this is the definition of the function. I have defined this black box. Now once I have defined this black box, I don't have to think about this black box again. So now I come to the implementation. That means how do you call a function? Now let me say that there is a student, that is say student 1, and I have defined a variable here, student 1 underscore per, which says that I am going to put here the percentage of the first student, and I call the function percentage, and inside this these brackets I've put the parameters, that is the marks that the student 1 has obtained, 87, 89, 90, and then I've written print student 1 got, and then print whatever was the percentage. And you can see towards the right that I have the student 1 got 88.666 percentage. So you see that I have done this for 3 students, and all I had to write was equal to percentage in the brackets whatever the marks were. So if I would have had to write this piece of code again and again for these 3 students, it would have been really difficult. And here I am taking an example only with 3 students, and you hardly have 3 students in a class. There are more than 3 students. So this shows that why I need to have functions in my program, because they are going to make my programming extremely easy. I have reduced the size of the program, and I have also called that just a line of code to calculate the percentage, instead of putting that formula of percentage again and again for each student. Now there was another thing that I said in that slide where I told you what are the uses of functions, and that was that there is ease in debugging. That means debugging becomes easy. Now I'm going to illustrate that. For example, you're the teacher. Now you think that all the students who got above 80%, I need to encourage them, and I'm going to tell them that you've done a good job and continue. So I'm just going to make a very small change over here. That is, I've just included an if statement which says that if the percentage that has been obtained by the student is greater than or equal to 80, then you need to print a statement, great job, keep it up, and a smiley there. So what have I done is that I've just included this one small statement in the function definition, and this change is going to be reflected every time that I'm going to call that function. So here it shows that debugging becomes very easy. You don't have to debug every time, that means for each of the student. I've just made a very small change in the definition, and that is going to do my work. So let me see that what is it going to do. There it is. So you see that the student 1 had got 88 point something, so the teacher said great job, keep it up. The second student didn't score that much, and the third student again got above 80, so it got that comment, great job, keep it up. So this is all I have. That is, I've told you that how do you use a function, that is how do you define a function and how do you call it, and then I've told you that what is the importance of the functions, why don't we continue with writing statements after statements, and why do we actually use functions. Function is a very powerful concept, and it's not that small. I mean, it's not as small as I've shown in this video. This is just functions for beginners, and there are there are many more concepts like recursion, which is calling a function within a function, and many more such concepts that are there within functions. But since this is week 1 and I thought that our level is not that high right now, so I've just included a very simple video for functions. As we encounter different things related to functions, that is a high level concepts, I'll hopefully make videos for that also. I hope that this video was useful and it was not that boring, and thank you for watching it.